If you don't have the leads coming in through the door, the sales process never actually happens. Hey everyone, Mark Dolfini. It is good to see you. Thanks for joining me today. So we're going to talk today a little bit about sales. Actually, we're really going to be talking more about lead generation than sales, because lead generation, if you don't have the leads coming in through the door, the sales process never actually happens, right? So let's back up just a quick second. If you are just watching my video for the first time, my name is Mark Dolfini. I am a strategist. And what I do is I help people build better lives and better businesses that are in alignment with those lives using what's called the VIP method. That is vision, infrastructure, and process. We're going to create a personal vision first. Then we're going to create a business vision, because remember, if you create a business vision before you create a personal vision, you're going to end up creating a life that exists to serve the business. And let's face it, if you're in small business for yourself already, or if you're an entrepreneur, I can tell you that is exactly what you don't want to do. I've done it wrong, and trust me, that sucks. So living to exist for your business is not what we're about here. So once we have our vision established, personal vision, then business vision, then we're going to create the infrastructure and processes following the VIP method. Infrastructure first, then processes. Infrastructure is the bones of the business, the desks, the chairs, the software, and so forth. And then, of course, the processes, that's your standard operating procedures that are going to run on that infrastructure that you built, that all stays in alignment with your vision for the future. So with that framework in mind, what I want you to think about is the 4 core functions of business, and that's lead generation, sales, operations, and accounting. Today, we're going to specifically talk about lead generation. So when we talk in the context of trying to sell to someone, not anyone, we're talking about after you have developed that ideal client avatar. And that ideal client avatar is specifically who it is you're doing this business for. Even Walmart, even though they have lots of people out there, they have an ideal client avatar. And even though it is a very large audience, they have an ideal client avatar that they're pursuing, right? Even in their tagline, I'm not sure if it's still their tagline, but it was always low prices for a really long time, right? And the reason why is because it attracted a certain type of buyer. It's not the same buyer. That they're not trying to attract the buyers who go to Target. They're a different avatar, and Target attracts a very different avatar, specifically because they don't necessarily trying to attract the avatar that is attracted to Walmart. Okay, so they don't really necessarily compete for the same avatar, and that's smart, right? That's why Kmart struggled so much, because they couldn't figure out who they were trying to attract, and ultimately they failed. So here's the thing, is that when you're thinking about your lead generation and you've got your ideal client avatar already figured out, I mean, you should really have that dialed in to who specifically it is that you're wanting to work with. Are they married? Where do they live? Where do they hang out? How do they make business buying decisions? What do they fear? What do they lay awake at night thinking about, right? Those are the sorts of things that you need to think about when you're determining your client avatar, especially the one you really want to work with. Now we're going to start to think about traffic temperatures. And when I talk about traffic, let me just explain that really quick. Traffic is it could be, think about it, phone traffic, it could be foot traffic, it could be internet traffic, but it's some sort of traffic that comes through whatever conversion mechanism that you have. Maybe they go through your website, maybe they go through your phone system, maybe they go through, some other mechanism in terms of being able to buy. Maybe they just show up at your door, right? But whatever that traffic is, they always have some sort of traffic temperature assigned to them. Okay, so let's go through that a little bit. We're going to be talking about cold traffic, warm traffic, and hot traffic. Okay, cold, warm, and hot. And it may not be what you actually think. Anytime I ask someone what cold, warm, and hot traffic is, they tend to give me various answers. But I'm going to give you what my truth is, and this is what I have learned about marketing, especially internet marketing. Let's talk about cold traffic first. Cold traffic is very problem aware. Problem aware. They know that they've got a problem, but they don't have any idea what to do about solving it. Okay, so maybe they've got a house that's 3 states over that their uncle passed on to them when he died, and they have no idea what to do with this property. They know that they've got a problem because they're getting notifications from the local municipality that it's it's overgrown, the grass is too high, there's trash there's people living there. Like, they know that they've got a problem of some sort. Okay, they are very problem aware, and they are very cold traffic. Okay, when you get to warm traffic is both problem aware and solution aware. Problem aware and solution aware. They are aware that they have a problem, and they're also aware that there is some sort of solution, even if they don't know exactly the solution, but they know there's some sort of solution. So they might say, given our example of the real estate, they might say, okay, I've got this property 3 states away. Maybe I contact a realtor. Maybe I contact a property manager. Maybe I get a hold of some investor who just wants to buy the property from me, right? So they're very problem aware and they are solution aware. When you get to hot traffic, okay, they are both problem aware and solution aware, and they are you aware. They are aware of what it is that you do. So in this particular instance, let's say that they've got a postcard in the mail from you, or a phone call or a text message or an email, whatever. Somehow you got on their map. Somehow you came across their radar. Maybe it was an ad through Facebook or something else. So now they are very problem aware. They know they got a crappy property. They're very solution aware and need to find some sort of investor. And now they are you aware. Hey, an investor actually contacted me about buying this property and taking it off my hands. So that now, does it mean that they're ready to do business with you? No, it does not. It just means that they are you aware. So that's and the reason why this is important, and this is why when we're talking about infrastructure in the context when we're talking about lead generation, in the context of infrastructure and process, I want you to think about the infrastructure that would take to mail all those things out and have some sort of mechanism to track this stuff, right? That would be the infrastructure, and the processes of all the things that would be necessary to run this lead generation smoothly, right? That would be tracking your metrics. How are the calls coming in and how are the calls handled? How are they greeted? Are you calling them back right away? Are you following up? All of those processes that run on that infrastructure, and the infrastructure might be, you have a CRM. Maybe it's just a simple Excel spreadsheet or whatever it is, but basically you've got some mechanism, some infrastructure, some software that tracks your leads that are coming in so you can track the metrics. So when it comes to the cold, warm, and hot traffic, the reason that that's important is because you have to have a different type of conversation based on the temperature of the traffic. And I'll explain what I mean. Let's say, for argument's sake, let's take business out of this equation for just a second. We're going to use a little different metaphor. Let's say, for argument's sake, that you're dating someone. Well, when you're first dating, right? You're just, they're very cold traffic. They don't know you at all. You're just getting to know them. Okay, so when you first meet them, you might meet them and greet them with a handshake, right? That might be appropriate. Maybe a hug, although that might be a little bit too much too soon for most people, right? So if they're very cold traffic, as they get to know you, right, you become now hot traffic. Now, does it mean that they want to date you steadily? Does it mean that they want to get married? No, it's too much too soon. When you meet someone who's cold traffic, and I meet them and I bring a hot traffic conversation with them, if I meet someone for the first time and I meet them and try to give them a kiss, they're gonna be like, whoa, way too much, way too soon, right? What are you doing, right? So that's why I'm saying you've got to match the temperature of the traffic to the temperature of the temperature of the conversation to the temperature of the traffic. So let's bring this back into the business perspective, and we'll wrap this video up. When I'm having these conversations, now I'm going to add in one little wrinkle here to this, and maybe I'll do this on another video another time. I actually think there's there's something before cold traffic, and that is frozen traffic. Frozen traffic is actually even before cold traffic because they're not even problem aware. They don't even know that they've got a problem. Okay, let's go back to the real estate example. Maybe they don't even know that the property is overgrown. Maybe they don't even know that someone's living in the property and they're squatting there, right? Maybe they don't even know that the house is in danger of burning down or whatever, right? Or maybe the property taxes are unpaid, or any number of things that they may not even be aware of. Okay, so think about this for when you're having these conversations with someone who's either frozen traffic or cold traffic. You have to make them aware of the problem first if they're frozen traffic, or, hey, I don't know if you knew this, but this is what's going on. Okay, so of course this is going to depend if you have interruption type marketing, or if you're having other type of other type of lead generation that's going to let people know that you're out there. But a lot of times what's really helpful is when you're putting out good information. When you're putting out information and you're just saying, hey, look, I know you've got a property, for example, I know you've got a property in a different state. Did you know that there are people who actually buy it and take care of it for you? That's actually what I do, right? And that maybe if you were a property manager, you might say something like that. So, or if you were an investor looking to expand your portfolio or something along those lines, right? That would be some way that you can warm up that conversation with them rather than saying, hey, sell me your property. Wait, what? Some people will respond to that, but quite frankly, I take a slightly different approach. I would rather warm up the traffic, make them problem aware, make them solution aware, and then make them me aware, make them aware of me. Let me use this one final example and we'll wrap up. Have you ever clicked on a link to an article or something like that says 7 ways that cucumbers are going to kill you, right? And then the sub caption says, yes, and that includes pickles too. Oh my gosh, I eat lots of cucumbers and I eat lots of pickles, right? And you click on the link and it tells you all about all sorts of cucumbers, and it tells you about the Brazilian cucumber and the Mexican cucumber and the Peruvian I'm making this up, I have no idea, but all these types of cucumbers, right? And in these countries they spray it with a certain type of pesticide, again I'm making this up, that when combined with a certain type of diet that's very typical in America, it creates, your butt will catch on fire. Okay, so now you're like, oh my gosh, I do not want my butt to catch on fire, and I eat lots of cucumbers and pickles. Oh my gosh, right? So what have I done? They were not even problem aware. Now, what have I done? I've made them aware of the problem, so now they became cold traffic, right? Now, what's the solution? I haven't told them the solution yet. Well, the solution is, as the article continues, the solution is to grow these cucumbers in an organic farm where we do not use these sorts of chemicals, where these chemicals are not being used. Okay, so now you're making them a little bit more aware of what the solution is. Okay, wow, well that's great. Where do these farms exist? Well, you know what? As it just so happens, the writers of this article actually happen to own 50 acres where we grow cucumbers absolutely organically. And now I've made them what? I've made them solution aware. Where do I find these sorts of farms that grow these types of cucumbers? Well, you don't have to look any further because we actually have that. We will actually sell you cucumbers by bulk and we'll ship them to your door. And we also have a whole product line of pickles that you can choose from, and you can order them by the case. And if you order them today, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what have I done? I've taken them from frozen traffic. They weren't even problem aware. I made them problem aware, which I made them into cold traffic. I made them solution aware about the certain types of organic farms where these cucumbers are grown, right? And I've made them me aware. I can sell them all these cucumbers. I can sell them all these types of pickles, and now they don't have to worry about their butt catching on fire. Right? Makes sense? So this is the type of conversation that you want to think about when you're trying to actually convert frozen and cold traffic. And here's the thing. The money is in the frozen traffic. The money is in the absolutely dead frozen traffic, because when you can educate people and convert them over, now you are the one controlling the market. You're the one owning the ink in your space. Okay, so that's all I have for today. So think about that a little bit. Think about some maybe different ideas in terms of how you can educate your consumers who aren't even problem aware, and how you can make them aware of you. All right, have a great rest of your day. Remember, if you don't place a value on your free time, someone else will. We'll see you next time.